Guess what? We hooked up with DeLeeuw, who spoke to us about directing the second episode of Loki season 2. Tell me this, Dan. I know the commercial reasons for having McDonald's, but I was curious as to the creative decisions behind it. Why McDonald's? Because it was such an iconic moment in the episode. Why not KFC? Why not one of the dozens of other fast food joints in America?
Well, it was interesting as it developed. The script had gone through a change and iteration in terms of how we were going to reintroduce Sylvie. And at that point, we knew it was going to be, some type of fast food restaurant, someplace unexpected that you would see Sylvie showing up at. And so one of the pitches early on it could have been Roxburger. If you're familiar with the MCU, there's Roxxon and Roxmart, and
Right.
and so it could have been something, but trying to sell Sylvie's coming in and seeing what a normal life would be felt false within Roxburger because it was a false restaurant. And so we started exploring the idea of McDonald's and, speaking with the crew, whenever it came up, everyone had a nostalgic story about McDonald's, right? It's something that, transcends just the US, McDonald's all around the world. And we all had a story. We all had some memory of our childhood at a McDonald's. And so that kind of really dovetailed into what Sylvie was experiencing when she got there. It was like, okay, this is what I want. This is a normal life. This is simple. And that, kind of sealed the deal.
Oh, and you're absolutely right. That design aesthetic is so iconic. Even all the way here in Malaysia, I have memories of that version of McDonald's, right? So tell me this. Episode 1 did all of the timey-wimey stuff and kind of set up the new time travel tropes for this season. But I think in episode 2, you had to do a lot of the emotional heavy lifting. Talk to me about that and I guess the pressure and burden of 3 relationships that you essentially had to seal up in those 40 minutes.
Well, it's in the design of the season that we came in strong, basically like a third act of a James Bond movie in the first episode. Right now we've got to the point where we could slow down and spend time with our characters and really deal with the consequences of what happened in season 1 and as well as episode 1 and see how their relationships to each other have changed. And that was what was really great. You could see from season 1 where Mobius was always trying to hold Loki back. There wasn't a lot of trust happening in season 1. And now suddenly, you can see their relationship, how they developed and appreciate each other and actually reach out. Loki, the god of mischief, honestly reaching out to a friend, is something new. But what we're doing in the season, and you can see it happening now, is that you have different perspectives. So you have the relationships between everyone, but everybody's different perspectives of what it means to be, what's destiny versus, self-determination, free will, and included within those relationships, each of the characters have a different point of view. So Sylvie's, free will no matter what. Loki is kind of stuck in the middle, is trying to solve everything. Mobius is like, okay, it's there. I don't know if I'm ready for it. And then you've got Brad Wolf who's like, I'm ready. I was doing it.
Let's go.
Yeah. I want to go. Yeah.
Very cool. I've got like a minute left, but very quickly. And I could be completely off on this, but it feels like season 2, because I think we've seen the first 4 episodes, feels more practical in its effects. Am I right in thinking that? Or did you guys use Mando technology at all? Like, it looks slightly different from season 1.
Well, I think Kazra, our production designer, came back. We rebuilt a lot of the season 1 sets along with the new sets, but it's a very grounded show. And we started with sets being built and the props being practical. And when we went out onto the timeline, we went to locations. And I think that grounds it in a way, and we were able to do it because, the show itself didn't call for like an alien planet or some other location you couldn't achieve practically. So I think you're in a position where the visual effects that are there are augmenting what's there, and they're something that you can only do with the visual effects like Loki's magic and the duplication.
Of course. No, it's very cool. I think it's working its way up there to be like one of my favorite seasons of Marvel TV
Great.
shows this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm having an absolute blast. Thank you so much for your time. This has been so great. Thank you so much. That was Dan DeLeeuw. He directed the second episode of Loki season 2. How are you enjoying this season so far? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.